The fight in Edo State, as it has to do with the governorship election, is taking a different turn altogether at this point in time. I don't know what is happening, but then the governorship election is becoming more like a presidential election. The gladiators, the spectators, and even the electorate are becoming too serious. But then it is a time to pick who leads the affair of the state, and a lot of people are coming up. The People's Democratic Party, a lot of confusion right there. Talking about APC is another different ball game altogether. Then the Labour Party crisis, but then Akpata is still pressing. What is happening in Edo State is more like a presidential election at this very particular point in time. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and a special welcome to today's edition. And joining me on the conversation today is a political and public affairs analyst. He is also a human rights activist and a civil society organization member who has been doing so much and has been in Benin State, in Benin City, Edo State, Benin City, for a while now because of this election. Mr. Andrew Enantomhen is joining us today. Good day, Andrew.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me once again this morning.
How is Benin City, Edo State, Benin City this morning?
Yeah, the ancient city is looking good, the ancient city is looking lovely, and the ancient city is looking interesting.
Oh, all right.
All right.
So let's talk about the governorship election. How has it been so far as it has to do with preparations for the election?
Yeah, actually, the coming up is interesting. The atmosphere has been calm. It's unlike the 2020 election. I've been at the corridor of political system for a very long time. I understand the traditional political game across the country. But just that every time a election always want to come up, they will look like a presidential election. A election is always very unique compared to other elections of the federation. I don't know, because it's the heartbeat of Nigeria. That is why it's like that. If you watch the 2015 election, this was exactly what happened. It was a field of war. The 2020 election, exactly what happened. I think I have some of my interviews and my video interviews for. I was just playing my 2016 interview. I came across them. I was like, wow, this battle I belong. Then I came across my 2020 interview with Omega Houses again, and how we fought the battle for peace to reign in those states. And here we are again, 2024. Fighting on that battle again for peace to rule in the state, But I think this particular election is a little bit different from the election we'll be covering in the last 20 years plus in those states. Because if you look at the 2015 election that we covered, that was Shobole Zeyamo, Somali actually, Somali came on board, that election kind of have a sway based on the personal antecedent. Then 2020 election, where he handed over the first to 2015, where he handed over to Obaseki, he used the power to go to install Obaseki, where we accepted it. Then 2020, again, when Obaseki was about coming for the second time, that there was a political narrative and the sentiment played out in favor of Obaseki, where there was a protest vote that brought Obaseki, give Obaseki a second time victory. That protest vote was a vote of both all political parties, considering the fact that so many sentiments were being voted towards the favor of Obaseki. Now, that have gone aside. Now we are at the third phase, which is the 2024 election right now, and we have three major tribes in Edo State. It's the Edo Central, the Benin people. Then we have the Edo North, the Afemai people. Then we have the Edo Central, which is the Isha people. And the three major tribes in Edo State were divided into three senatorial districts, which is the Edo South, which comprises the 7 local governments. The Edo North has 6 local governments, and the Edo Central has 5 local governments. And since that point, it is the democracy, the emergence of democracy. Edo South and Edo North have actually been a major tribe, a major region that have been at the hands of affairs, the corridor of power at the state level. But being that as it may, Edo Central in itself have been very loyal to the state, have contributed politically, in terms of national development. The major political directors in Nigeria today, like of Antonio to the now Tomikini, this year, and so many other top political figures, most of them came from Edo Central. And the Edo people made up their mind that, okay, look, this thing around, considering the fact that Edo Central, they are part of the political equation of the state, and they cannot be sidelined. And before now, if you look at the 2023 election, where the obedience revolution came on board, they agitated for the equity, fairness, and justice, capacity, competence, and compassion. That was the ideology that drove the obedience movement, that we will beat that massive vote that he got. It wasn't because Obi needed to get that vote, but because Nigerians felt there is a need for inclusivity, there's a need for equity, fairness, and justice to take a course. If Nigeria must be peaceful, if we all must belong, if we all must play what we preach, that we are all stakeholders in the project called Nigeria. So that was why Nigerians actually got angry and gave Peter Obi that protest vote, because it was a movement that was driven by ideology. Now, getting to the Edo State equation, fortunately, PDP led the pace by ensuring that the ticket was given to a distance, which was a major political strategy that Obasanjo played, because a lot of people were not really turning towards Obasanjo's kind of ideological political gain. But for this singular move that he made by giving the ticket to a distance, it was a political, it was a breaker that nobody expected the move. So that game that he played alone, was a political tsunami that happened to every other political party. That alone sending tsunami to every other political party that not put them in a state of confusion. So with that, APC was forced to give the ticket to a Central, because the power of the could have cleaned out and given the Central a random victory for the election. So APC was forced to give the ticket to a Central. Now, Labour Party in itself, not Labour Party, the candidate of the Labour Party, which is Olumide Abata, played a smart one on the Labour Party, destabilized the structure of the Labour Party, and forced himself on the Labour Party in Edo State and forcefully collect the ticket. And you remember that Olumide Abata is from the same ward with Obasanjo. They are from the same local government, already local government, and both of them, they are in the same, they vote in the same, around the same axis. And he's even a cousin to Obasanjo.
Hello, Mr. Andrew.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, you said something that the former NBA president actually forced himself, on Labour Party. What do you mean by that? Are you talking about Apata now?
Absolutely. But what I mean forced about Labour Party, producing the ticket from Edo South was never the ideology of Labour Party. Labour Party actually wanted that ticket to go to Edo Central. They never wanted it, but I think they played a smart one by ensuring that there was a destabilization in Labour Party. So with that, he was able to manipulate his way and get the ticket. Remember when he got the ticket, the national chairman was in the state of Delima. They were chaos everywhere. He manipulated himself and ensured that he collected the ticket. Of course, he got the ticket and became their candidate. But since he got the ticket, Labour Party had been destabilized in the state. They've never known peace. There'll be problem here and there, problem today, problem tomorrow.
But I think the problem in Labour Party has been on in Edo State, because there was a time some persons came in to do the primaries and they were beaten up even before Apata emerged.
But that's those are the political things that you might not be aware. Where are the forefront? We know what is going on. Before primary, before any candidate gets the ticket for primary, there are so many things that play at the background that you might not know. You don't think you can just pick up overnight, pick up a ticket? You have to start. You have so many things. Chaos, so many things. And then you get the highest bidder gets the ticket.
But looking at the whole scenario right now, do you see Obasanjo playing any role of trying to impose any candidate on the people of Edo State? Like it's been alleged.
Obasanjo cannot impose the candidate on the people of Edo State, because even the guy that is coming, the candidate that emerges as under the platform of the People's Democratic Party candidate, flag bearer, which is the candidate of Obasanjo, is even much more a higher figure than Obasanjo in the national politics, in national society. Do you know who that guy is? That guy is a national president. People even say he's a presidential product, he's a government product. When talking for government is even a reduction to his personality trait. That's a fact. If you even reach out on the state, okay, it's not taking. So how do you say about it want to impose?
Invariably, Mr. Andrew, invariably, are you trying to tell us that PDP have an upper hand in the Edo governorship election right now? Because from what you are saying, it means you are doing a form of praise singing for the candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
I'm not political. You know, I'm a civil society organizer. I'm an activist. I'm a social critic. But we face facts. We say reality. The truth remains. This election is a one-way election, because if you look at the candidate of the APC, he doesn't really have that capacity, he doesn't have that competence, he doesn't have that empathy, he doesn't have that charisma. But of course, he made the other ideology that we stood by, which is the equity, justice, and fairness. Now, if you look at the candidate of the Labour Party, he could not meet up the ideology of equity, justice, and fairness, but he made the ideology of less the capacity, competence, and compassion. But if you look at the candidate of the PDP, he ticked all the boxes. He was able to meet up the criteria of equity, justice, and fairness. He made the criteria of capacity, competence, character, compassion, and empathy. So these are the things. You know, those citizens, they are very sophisticated. And they are the only people you cannot impose the candidate on. That's how sensitive the election. That's why you see every time they don't want to do election, you look like a war, look like a national election. You understand? So as it stands right now, everybody already understands the direction at which the election is going. That's why you see most people, they are trying to turn it to like they do other affairs. But I think
yes, exactly. Mr. Andrew, you just mentioned something very important now, the do or die affair. Because politics in Edo State, like we said before we got started, is more like a presidential election. Now, the do or die affair, as it has to do with elections in Edo State, do you see this forthcoming election been a peaceful one, or you are foreseeing something like violence?
It's going to be peaceful in the sense that if you look at the candidates of the PDP, the man has an aura of peace. So his presence alone, a lot of people have to testify to me that, Andrew, have you ever thought of the way to come across this guy just like this? I said, that's what a lot of people will say. When you come across that guy, you just like the guy, naturally. He has that aura. You know, there are people that have that kind of a grace. You might not have bad impression. Once you just see him like this, you just like him. Maybe it's the grace that he possesses. So that alone, I think the election will be peaceful, because remember my 2015 interview that I had with BBC, I told them, I said, look, most people said that they are lions and tigers, but you have to understand that, look, lions and tigers, somebody owns lions and tigers, and if lions and tigers get loose, we will take them and put them where they belong to. Instead of intellectual, you cannot come and roam the street as a lion and tiger, because the human beings that roam on the street. We know where lions and tigers are, so we put them where they belong to.
Lions and tigers.
We're going to use the instrument of government to ensure that the election is peaceful.
Yes, Mr. Andrew.
Intimidate their voters. Nobody will come and intimidate their people. And those people know what they want. And those people, they have a mind of their own. You cannot sway them.
Okay.
One way. So the election is going to be peaceful, it's going to be credible, it's going to be free, it's going to be fair. And considering the fact that the president has an integrity, has a name to protect, I know he will not want to swear his name because of the state election. So we allow the people to make their choice. And the people know who they want.
Okay.
The people want,
it's a democracy, of course. The people should know who they want.
Right now, as it stands right now, I don't think it's no longer a civil servant state, but an industrial state, and now the courtesy of the sitting governor. So we wouldn't want to go back to Egypt. We know where we're coming from, we know where we are, and we know where we're going to.
All right, Mr. Andrew.
So it takes steps to ensure that we get to that place, that Eldorado, to get to that place, that destiny land, that Edo State that everybody wants to be envious of. We'll make sure we do that. After the election, all those people already calling we'll do election to ensure that same thing the president will do election. It's going to be peaceful, it's going to be fair, it's going to be credible. Equity, just as tenants will take it cost, and capacity, competence, and character will be the center stage.
All right, we pray and we wish it ends so. That's the desire and the prayer of every Nigerian, even the people of Edo State. But then some persons seems to take laws into their hands when it is time for this election, sacrificing so many things. But then, like you have said, we pray and we wish everything is peaceful, is credible, and it's fair. I want to believe the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Shaibu, is at rest now.
He has to be at rest because Shaibu actually shot himself in the leg. Shaibu has had the corridor of power in the last 22 years. Maybe you are not aware of that. He was left to be president for 1 year, not president for 1 year. That's 2 years. How come I been for 4 years? 6 years, the speaker for 4 years, that's 8 years.
Wow.
House of Rep for 2 years, that's 12 years. Deputy governor for that's 14 years. Deputy governor for 8 years, so that's 22 years. A single individual.
Wow, 22 years in governance.
Yes, and a stretch.
Okay, and he was still vying for the position of the governor.
Of the governor, exactly.
All right, thank you.
Have the immunity of a sitting governor. He's
All right.
going to have the immunity of a sitting governor.
Oh.
He has all the support. So what happened to other people? Osomole is your brother, and you just finished 8 years, and you want to take over from him? Doesn't mean they are not okay. Let's even assume that one of those.
That's all right. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on today's review. Yes, we don't have all the time. Would have loved to continue, but then our time is up already. Thank you for joining us all the way from Edo State, Benin City. That is Andrew Enantomhen, and it is review. And we're talking about the situation in Edo State. So many things happening, and the government, the parties, the gladiators, the people, everybody is actually looking forward to that election. But then at the end of the day, like Mr. Andrew said, we just wish everything is credible, everything is free and fair. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Andrew.
Me too. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you everyone for being part of the review for this morning. That is the situation from Edo State as it comes up. As other things unfold, we'll bring you to speed with the things happening from Edo State on review, and maybe subsequently on politics and policies. Thank you. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.